Alright guys, so I want to make a video of this. That way, because there is one on, I know at least one on the summative that's going to be A is greater than 1. Okay, so let's start with something easy first, so we can get the hang of it. Oh, got duplicated. There we go. Oh, shit. Okay, so let's do one that's easy first. Let's do number 12. Let's do number 12. Because this one does not have a GCF. I'll show you how to do the other ones as well. I just want to try something a little easier first. All right. Like Robinson said, guys, there's several ways to do this. But to keep it kind of streamlined and keep it the same, we're going to do it by the grouping method. All right. All right. So I like steps, so we're gonna write us some steps. Okay. Number 1. Oh, first of all, let's make sure we understand something. Now, standard form of a quadratic is ax squared plus bx plus c. Guys, so if you ask what is a standard form of a quadratic equation, that's it, ax squared plus bx plus c. Notice it's written in descending order from highest power to your constant at the very back. Okay? Before you do this, it has to be written that way. It's got to be in that form. Okay? The variable can be anything. Okay? A, B, and C are numbers. All right. So, guys, what we're going to do, we're going to multiply the A term. We're going to multiply A and the C together. Okay. So what that's going to give me is this. Don't really worry about the sign. 6 times 8. So we're going to multiply A times C. And in this case, guys, that's going to give us 48. Don't really worry about the sign because we'll get that when we start. Okay. So don't really worry about the sign. Let me zoom in just a little bit. So you're going to multiply A and C. Okay, and guys, like I said, I know that should be a negative 48, but just kind of ignore the sign for right now. Okay, now let's find some factors that will multiply to give us 48. Okay, so now we got 1 and 48, 2 and 24, 3 and 16. 4 and 12. 5 won't work. I think that's about it. Okay. Now, the next thing we're going to do is you're going to bring down the ax squared term and the c term. So let me show you what that looks like. So we're going to bring down the ax squared term and the c term. So what we're going to do is this. Bring that straight down. Bring that straight down, including the sign. Okay? So you're going to bring the a and the c down. Now, guys, I don't know if Robinson went into this with you. Does anybody know what this sign tells me about factors? Does anybody know? Did he go in with this with you? Okay. I'm gonna write these rules out for you. Make sure you copy them down, and you need to try to understand them. But I'm gonna give you the rules first. Okay. So ax squared. Now, guys, this is talking about in standard form. If both of your signs are plus, okay, both your signs are plus, your signs and your factors will both be plus. Okay? Both your signs are plus in your quadratic. Both the signs and the factors will be plus. Okay? Now, if the first sign is negative and the second sign is plus, both signs and your factors will be negative. Okay? Alright, now, if the first sign is plus and the second sign or the sign of the third term is negative, your signs are opposite of each other. Now, when this sign is minus, you got to be careful because it's going to matter where you put your numbers. The biggest number needs to go with the plus sign if this sign is plus. Does everybody understand that? If this sign is plus, the biggest number needs to go with the plus sign. Okay? Last but not least, if you have a minus minus, your signs will be minus plus, then your biggest sign will go with the biggest number will go with the minus sign. Does everybody understand that so far? So basically, guys, if you catch the pattern, if this sign is plus, if that sign is plus, both your signs are the same. And how to tell which sign it's going to be, just look at the sign up here. If that's plus and that's plus, both are plus. If this sign is plus and this is minus, they're both minus. Okay? If this is minus, they're different. The biggest number goes with this sign. If this sign is minus, they're different. Biggest sign goes with the minus. The biggest number goes with the minus. If you got this, guys, the underline means that's where the biggest number goes. Okay? Now, knowing that, now guys, notice what we have. We have a minus minus. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start us with a set of parentheses. Actually, two sets of parentheses. Okay? We'll start with two sets of parentheses. So step 3 is two sets of parentheses. Alright? And then step 4 is place the correct signs let's put signs and factors. So we're going to place the correct signs and factors in the parentheses. Now, so guys, with this being a minus minus, that means it's going to be a minus plus. Does everybody see that? So what you're going to do, you're going to put a minus here and a plus here. That's what you're going to do. Now, so we got our, and guys remember, the reason I know it was minus plus because this sign's minus, this sign's minus, and according to my rule, they're opposite. And the biggest number is going to be minus. Okay? Now, looking at these sets of numbers, which one will add or subtract to give me my B term, which is negative 13? 3 and 16. All right, so here's what you're going to do. You see this variable right here? You're gonna put that with it, but you're going to put your biggest number here, put your variable with it. You're going to put your other number here with the variable. All right. Step number 5. You're going to factor a GCF out of first parenthesis. You're going to factor GCF out of the first parenthesis. So we're going to go right here, guys. Now, I know I can factor an N out because I have an N in both terms. Okay, so I know I can factor an N out. Now, what's the largest number that will go into 6 and 16? 2, right? Good, Carter said 2, right? Now, guys, all I'm doing right here is getting a GCF out. We've already did this before. All right, now, when I divide those by my GCF, what's left? 6 divided by 2 is 3. N squared divided by n, subtract the exponents, right? When you divide, it's going to be just n. Okay? Negative 16 divided by 2 is negative 8. The n's cancel, right? If you got that same number of n's on top and bottom, they cancel each other. Or become the number 1, because it's n to the 0 power. Now, step 6. Factor a GCF and the sign of the third term out of second parenthesis. Guys, these steps are the same every time. Numbers just change. So I'm going to factor GCF and the sign of the third term out of the second parenthesis. First of all, that's the sign of the third term. Does everybody see that? 1, 2, third term. So that sign's going to be factored out. So plus. Now, does 3 and 8 have a common factor besides 1? Nope. Can I factor a variable out since 8 does not have a variable? Nope. So what you're going to do, start your parentheses, divide this by 1, that by 1. Now, if you recall last week, guys, when we did factor by grouping, how do I know that this is correct? How do I know this is correct? Just by looking at it. The numbers in my parentheses are the same. Okay? 3n minus 8, 3n minus 8. That's one of my factors. Okay? Then, the GCF is my other factor. That's your answer. So step 7, guys, I'm going to go ahead and write that down if you want to write it. Make sure binomials in parentheses are the same. That is one of your factors. Okay? And then step 8, the GCF or GCFs is your other factor. Now, guys, if you wrote those steps down, which I really, if I take the time to write it down, guys, there's a reason. If you got those steps written down, that will work every single time. The only thing different is the numbers will change. The steps are exactly the same every single time. If you do that every single time, you will get every single one of them right. Okay? All right. Okay. Now, guys, it took a few minutes to do that because we wrote steps down. Can everybody still see that okay? Steps and all? Okay. Now, let's look at one. Let's look at number 9. Now, guys, I did not put these in the steps, but anytime you factor, always check for a GCF first. Okay, I didn't put that in the steps, but make sure you always check for a GCF first. Now, number 9 is 45b squared minus 5b minus 50. Okay? Now, guys, with this particular example, all my terms are either in with a 5 or in with a 0. And that being said, guys, if all your factors in with a 5 or a 0, you at least have to have a GCF of 5. Does everybody understand that? Because 5 is a divisor of all those numbers, okay, or a factor of all those numbers. Your GCF can never be bigger than your smallest number, though, right? GCF can never be bigger than your smallest number. What's the GCF between those three numbers? 5. All right, now, so factor GCF out. That's going to be 9b squared minus b or 1 or negative 1b, any way you want to do it, minus 10. So, guys, make sure you try to get a GCF first, okay? Every time. The only reason we didn't try it that time is there was not one on the first. There was not a GCF on the first one, okay? All right. This GCF right here, guys, you will not do anything else with it. All you're going to do is just carry it down. You're not going to do anything else with that GCF. However, it has to be in your answer. If it's not in your answer, it will be wrong. Okay? Make sure you carry it with you on every step. But you will not do anything with it. Okay? Now, so we factor the GCF out. So the first step is we're going to multiply A and C. Okay? 9 times 10 is 90. Alright? This is my A times C. Is 90. 9 times 10 is 90. Now, guys, I could list out all the terms, but does anybody know two numbers that will multiply to give me this that are add or subtract to give me negative 1? 9 and 10. So, guys, now you can go through all the numbers. That's okay, but that's going to be the factors you're going to use. All right, now, bring down the A squared term and the C term. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down. 9b squared, negative 10. Okay? Make sure you bring the sign with both terms. All right? Now, guys, going off the rules that I showed you earlier, or that I gave you earlier, what are going to be my two signs in these factors? They're at the top of the paper. Negative, positive. All right, so now we're going to make two parentheses. We're going to put a negative here, positive here. Now, what number will go here? The 10. The 10 has to go here because it's bigger than 9, right? So your 10 goes here with the variable. Your other factor goes here with the variable. Okay? Now, so the GCF here, guys, 9 and 10 does not have a factor, a common factor except 1. That ain't going to really help you, but we can factor out a B. So we're going to do B. That's going to be 9B minus 10. Guys, I'm going to put an extra parenthesis there and put my 5 out there too. Just put an extra parenthesis out there so to keep it separated. All right. Now, number 6. We're going to factor out a GCF and the sign of the third term out of the second parenthesis. That's this guy. What's the only thing I can factor out here? 1, right? right, 1's the only thing because 9 and 10 doesn't have a common factor except 1. So if I do that, I'm going to have 9b minus 10. Now, step 7. Make sure binomials in the parentheses are the same. That is one of your factors. That tells me it's correct. All right, so 9b minus 10 is one of my factors. All right. Step 8. GCFs is your other factor. Now, is that correct? What's wrong with it? You got to put your GCF, so make sure you bring it down. Guys, that'll be your biggest mistake there. If you make a mistake, is you forget the 5. Okay? Does anybody know how to check these to see if it's right? Anybody have any ideas? You can multiply. You can do box method, or you can do, I call it the distributive method. Let me just show you real quick, guys. You can do it any way you want. All right, now. So if I got this, now guys, I don't do the box method. I do the distributive method, but you can do it any way you want. All right, so I'm going to distribute the first term to both of those first. Okay, that's going to be 9b squared. 9b times 1 is 9b. Okay. Now, so I'm done with that first term. Now what I'm going to do is go to my second term and distribute it to both terms. That's going to be all right. Well, I have like terms here, so that's going to be 5, 9b squared, negative 10 plus 9 is negative 1b, right? Then last but not least, I'm going to distribute that back in. Guys, notice this and this are the same, so you know it's right. Okay? Guys, if you ever wonder why my fingers are so dirty, I work on cars. Like I'm an auto mechanic on the side, so I swear I take baths and stuff. That's why my fingers are always dirty. There's not many teachers that works on cars. Not many. I just didn't want you to think Johnson didn't take a bath or something. All right. How many people think they can do that? Okay. Y'all want to do one with the GCF again? That'd be better. Okay. Guys, remember, I didn't put it on the steps, but it is a known thing. Always look for a GCF first. Okay. Guys, y'all pick one and I'll do it for you. How about that? What do you think, Emmett? Everett, I mean. Number 2. I called you Emmett. I don't know why I call you that. All right. 24n squared minus 68n minus 180. Okay, so guys, let me show you something. All these are even numbers. Okay? All these are even numbers. So what do we know? What do we know all even numbers are divisible by? 2, right? Is 2 the biggest number will go into these 3 numbers? It looks like it's going to be 4. Let's try 4. Okay? So now, 4 divided by 24 is 6. 4 divided by 68. 15, 18? No, 17. Now, guys, you can do that in your calculator, but that would be your that would be what was left after you took a 4 out of the GCF. Now, how do I know this is the bit? How do I know this is the correct GCF? Well, one thing, guys, that's a good guess too. One thing, guys, 17 is a prime number, right? It's only divisible by 1 and 17, so we know we can't take out any more factors. And also, well, that's the main thing because 6 and 45 do have a factor of 3, but the 17 being prime tells me that it does not have any more factors. I mean, that's the GCF. All right. All right, guys. So we're gonna multiply our A and C. All right, 6 times 45 is 260. Okay. Now, guys, now with a larger number like this, you may have to do a little bit of guess and check. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna do the ones I know. Okay. So 1 and 260, 2 and 130. That'd be no, that won't be right. So let's get our calculator out, because man, we'll be here all day. All right. Guys, if you divide it by a number and it's a decimal, is that a factor of it? Nope. $465. Now, guys, remember, it's got to have a difference of 17, so we're nowhere near it. Let's try 260 and 9. Let's see what happens. Nope. 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 Okay, let's do. I think I messed up. That should be 270. 6 times 5. Yeah. I know something didn't look right. All right, let's do. This is going to be 27 and 10. I can already tell that's what it's going to be. All right, guys, so if you go down through there, it will be 27 and 10. Okay? Now, because guys, remember, it's got to multiply to give you your A times C value, add or subtract to give you your B value, right? Now, so next step, bring down the AX squared term and the C term. So I'm going to bring that down. That's going to be 6n squared. All right. Now, put parentheses around them. And guys, I got 2 sets of parentheses because I got a GCF. Okay. Does that make sense? I got 2 sets of parentheses. Okay. Now, guys, knowing that this sign is minus and this sign is minus, what's going to be my signs of my factors? If you got a minus minus, it's going to be minus plus, right? So it's going to be minus plus. What number is going to have to go here? 27 with the variable. All right, kind of run out of. Let me make this a little bit bigger so we can. All right. Now, step 5. Factor out GCF out of the first parentheses. So we're going to bring our original GCF down. Guys, if you think about it, the two numbers here has a common factor of 3, right? So 3. And I can also factor out an n. What's left over is 2n minus 9. All right. Step 6. I'm going to factor GCF in the sign of the third term out of second parenthesis. Plus. And the GCF between those two guys will be what? What y'all think? 5. Okay. So we need 2n minus 9. Step 7. Make sure binomials in parentheses are the same. That is one of your factors. These are the same. Okay. That's going to be 2n minus 9. Okay. Step 8. GCF. The GCF is your other factor. And last but not least, what do I do? Bring down your 4. That's your answer. Guys, if you think about it, it's factored by grouping with just a couple more steps, pretty much. That's basically all it is. The hardest part, guys, is like when you get big numbers like this, is knowing your times tables. But because nobody, I mean, guys, I mean, I know a lot of them, but you ain't gonna. Nobody knows all of them. There's no way. All right. Anybody want to see another one? If you want to see another one, just tell me and I'll do it. Does 18 have a GCF? Let's do 18 real quick. I'm going to kind of streamline it, though. I'm not going to do any of I ain't going to read the stats. I'm just going to streamline it, okay? So 9b squared plus 42v plus 40. Guys, this will not have a GCF because if 9 and 42 have a GCF, that's 3. But 40 and 9 do not have a GCF. All right, so now, what we're going to do, nine times 40 is 360. Now, guys, without going through all the numbers, the two numbers you need are 30 and 12. Okay? 30 times 12 is 360. 30 plus 12 is 42. Okay? Now, guys, this should be easy. What's the signs going to be? Since it's plus, plus. Plus, plus, right? Good. So plus. Does it matter where you put them if they're both the same signs? No, don't matter. Okay? What's the GCF here, guys? Anybody know? 3V. Good, good. 3V plus 4. Okay? Now, on the second one, guys, don't forget to factor out that sign of the third term. both the same, right? So we know we did it right. GCFs are the other ones. I did not have a GCF, so there you go. I think they're picking up on it, Rob. We might have to do a couple examples for like just random ones. I think we did three or four examples. Four. Really? Are we? Are we out of the 10 days yet? That's right, because right. I don't think I've ever had anybody except Trinity up here. You remember her? She I had her in math one, and I asked her did she want to switch out. She said no. She made a 90. She was in a 98 percentile on the math one exam. She made a high level 5. That's crazy. Now that was in math one. But it don't matter.